Alright guys, here's what's on the bench today. It needs new strings. It is an Ibanez Jem Jr. I think the color is desert yellow. Has this really nice, almost pink orange kind of pickups. The Tree of Life inlays, the monkey grip. It's ready to get new strings on it. Let's get started. So we're going to pull off this, the locking nut. These strings, you just run your finger underneath the strings. The amount of dirt under there, it's amazing. You couldn't get that much dirt on these strings if you tried. I think we can, on this one, we can use our trim blocker and possibly, yeah, I think we're just gonna set that thing right there, and then we can come up here and loosen the strings. I'm gonna take all 6 strings off of this at the same time, so I can really super clean this fretboard. This is a used guitar that I am going to resell. So I have to shine it up and get it to play as perfect and to look as new as possible so I can resell it. I'm just going to go ahead and clip the strings. And then down on this end of the guitar at the bridge, if we loosen these, and the string will lift right out of there, and then I usually kind of tighten them back up so that those little blocks don't ever fall out of there while I'm cleaning on it, or if I turn it upside down or any of that kind of stuff, just to make sure they stay in there. Because it's hell when you lose one of those little blocks right there. But they do sell them on Sweetwater if you need a set of Floyd Rose trim blocks. Okay, jeez, that one's really in there. Wow. And the block is totally loose. Oh, shit. Can't get that one out. Let's try the high E string. The high E string came right out. They all came out super easy. For some strange reason, the B string is stuck. Okay. Why? I wonder why that would do that. Wondering why. There it goes. Okay. And first of all, let's get in here and take a look at what we're looking at as far as this fretboard. So, all these frets, they feel like medium jumbo frets. You've got the Tree of Life inlays, and then up here in the first couple of frets is where usually you see the most fret wear if the guitar has been played a lot. And I'm not seeing any fret wear. A little bit of, you can see dirt from where the strings was at. But locking nut, very nice condition. There's no little dents or scratches or scrapes or anything that I can see on this one. So I think what I'm going to do is, I got my fret guard, and I'm going to take a little 1000 grit sandpaper and I fold it over, and I just kind of hit these frets real quick. Not trying to level them, anything like that. Just getting the dirt off of them. simple way to clean the frets. Doesn't cost you any money. A little tiny piece of sandpaper. There we go. Top layer of dirt has been removed. Okay, guys, so I have some F1 oil. Music Nomad. Cleans, conditions, and protects. 100% natural oil. Petroleum and wax free. You don't want any of that earwax on your fretboard. Grody, right? Okay. Put some of that on there. Let's take a little cocktail napkin. And let's just kind of smear this stuff in there. Smear it on there and then just let it kind of soak in. And if there's any dirt on there, then in a minute or so we'll come back and we'll wipe it all off of there. And if there's any dirt or anything, this really helps to lift it all off of there. And it kind of helps to darken the wood to make the fretboard really stand out nicely. You want your rosewood fretboards to be nice and dark, right? So you want it to look nice and dark like that. The Tree of Life inlays. Then I just rip this off of here, the part that I've used. Throw that part in the trash and hit it one more time. But again, I don't think there was any wear on this fretboard from the guy playing it too much. Sometimes these guitars end up sort of being wall hangers. They very much look like a piece of art hanging on your wall. You get a nice wall hanger and hang this on the wall, and they're fun to look at. You can hang them over your television set or something. Sometimes some of them turn out to be wall art, and that's okay. And then a lot of times these things end up being part of a collection and not so much somebody's main guitar. Sometimes they're the main guitar that you have, but most of the time, for some reason, I seem to think that these Jems and the Jem Juniors end up just being some part of somebody's collection. Okay, let's grab some strings. String choice. Today's string choice, Dean Markley Custom Light 9 through 42, made in USA, Santa Clara, California. Keep on rocking, more brilliant tone, longer life. Custom set. Huh. Swedish steel. So they got 4 strings in this pack, and then they've got the B and the E string in other packs. Okay, that's what we're going for today. You don't see these things. Are Dean Markley, are they still making strings? Are they out of business? Give me some comments, guys. Let me know what is going on with Dean Markley. I got a couple of Dean Markley amplifiers in the shop that are for sale. I think it's a CD60, I think is the amp that I have, just off the top of my head. And I have I think it's a CD or a CD30, I think is what I have. Okay. So because we tightened these blocks, right, we have to loosen those babies back up. They're still in there. We didn't lose any of them. Shove that down in there. tighten it up. 46 is kind of heavy, but this would be nice in a drop tuning or something. I haven't really decided what tuning to put this guitar in. Okay, here's our A string. And our A string is a 36 gauge. Cut the end of it off. Fun stuff, restringing guitars every day. I absolutely love my job. And once in a while, I'll get some famous people that come through the store. Now, as far as YouTubers, recently, you know, Philip McKnight is a neighbor who lives over in a few towns over, and and he drops in from time to time. I haven't seen him in probably 2 months or so, though, but he's been in a dozen times. And then last Saturday, it kind of shocked me, but Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum, I think a lot of you guys have seen Ryan's channel, 60 Cycle Hum, and he came in here and hung out a little bit because he happened to be in town. So we saw Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum. That was kind of fun. And I've met Ryan out at the NAMM show a couple of years in a row out there. Talked to him at the NAMM show, but he came in here Saturday, and it was kind of surprising when somebody walks in out of nowhere. Kind of throws you for a loop. A super nice guy, and they were in town for the weekend. Okay, there's our G string, and our G string, custom light, our G string was a 16 gauge string. Double lock twist Swedish steel. Okay, don't know what that means. Swedish steel. Never heard of that. Steve Vai, very popular signature model is the Steve Vai Gem. I think the John Petrucci, I can't say his last name. I think that's one of the biggest signature models out there, other than Les Paul. But I think that the Steve Vai signature models are probably a very close second or third place. When it comes to artist models, signature models, a lot of people got those gems. Lots and lots of these things out in the world. Very collectible. They hold their value really well. If you get your hands on a real gem, they hold their value really, really good. You can buy yourself a gem and enjoy that thing, in 10 years from now, if you ever decide it's time to sell it, I think you could probably even make money on them, because they're going up in value. Alright, starting to tune it up a little bit. The trem block can come out now. Trem block is super high. It's hanging too high. Let's see where our tuning is at. Alright, we got to get in here and we got to tighten the claw. And what's nice is you've got plenty of access to do that, because they got this great back plate on here that lets you just get in here with the screwdriver And I'm going to crank these babies down a little bit. I see there's only 2 springs and, oh, no, there's 3. I'm cranking this thing down. Okay, let's take a look now. The A was perfectly tuned. The D's a little bit sharp. There's our G string very close. The B's very close. Now you want this bridge to lay nice and flat. Okay, let me see if I can do camera work here. And so you want it to lay nice and flat. Let me get in here. You can see it's lifted a little bit high. So I'm going to snug them down some more. If they'll go anymore, that is. This guitar is in really good condition. Hopefully I don't scratch it. Oh, I got so pissed off the other day. A couple people were in here and they were playing and strumming acoustics and singing. And then they went to hang it back on the hood and it back on the hook, and it fell right off and they dropped it. And it was an Alvarez acoustic. And I ran over and said, "Hey man, you drop it, you buy it." And they were like, well, we'll come in, we'll come back and we'll pay for it. I had a price at $175. It was a used Alvarez acoustic. And I told him to get out. I was pissed. Kind of ruined my day. But sometimes it's fun kicking guys out of the store, believe it or not. Starting to enjoy that. You know those stories about all those old grouchy old guitar store owners? I've always told myself, oh, I'd never turn into one of those guys. I'm a people person. I love people. Yeah, but it only takes a couple of times for guys to... Well, it's a guy and a girl, but it only takes a couple of times for people to drop a guitar and then act like it's no big deal when it has like 4 big scratches on it, for you to get kind of grouchy. Okay, you know what? It's getting better, but now I'm going to loosen them a little tiny bit. It's kind of a struggle restringing a guitar with different gauges. But after a couple of tries here in a few minutes, we'll have it. You've got to be patient with the Floyd Rose stuff. Okay, let's see what she's doing. Okay, she's fretting out. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the neck. So this is a long scale guitar, so I've got my notch straight edge. Going to set this baby on there. And let's take a look. Oh, it's got a lot of backbone. Okay, let me loosen this baby up a little bit. There we go. Good turn. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Little tiny bit of relief. That could be one of the reasons that this guitar got traded in and sold to me, just because it had a really bad setup. Okay, so we've got the truss rod adjusted, and I put the truss rod cover back over it, and we're just tuning it up. And again, it's going to take 2 or 3 more times of just fine-tuning it. And then sometimes on these low strings, I leave the strings kind of flat, because there's been times where when you put the locking nut down on there, it kind of makes the string go a little bit sharp. So as a test, let's see what happens. I'm going to put the locking nut back on there. I'm going to snug it down a little bit. Not over tight. These things were on there so tight. So, okay, snug this down, tighten it a little bit. Yeah, see, now it made the note go sharp. The A's fine, but we can just use the fine tuner right there to adjust the E. And so there you go, that's good. This thing is looking good. I think we can lock this string down. There it is. Perfect. And then our B string and our high E string. Lock those babies down. We're good. And then all the rest of the tuning then. So as you guys know, once the strings are locked down at the nut, you use your fine tuners to do all the fine tuning. That's why they're called fine tuners. You wouldn't believe how many times I'm sitting around in my store watching guys play, and the guitar, for some reason, they think it's out of tune. So instead of using the fine tuners, they're up here cranking on the other tuners, and all that's doing is adding tension between here and here, and yeah, they break strings. All kinds of crazy things happen in here, man. And I run over and I'm like, dude, that's not how you tune it. And then they get offended and they get mad at you. Yeah, it's one of those things. I love my job, though. I really do. Thank you guys for watching my videos. It does give me a very fun part of the day when I get to stand here and restring a guitar. The Jem Jr. Fun guitars, great for collectors. Guys, go out and buy a guitar. You won't regret it. Guys, go buy a guitar. Guys, if you like watching this video, feel free to subscribe. Check out our Amazon link. Check out our Teespring link. Think about becoming a channel member. Everybody have a great day.